Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Midnight Reviews. I am the Soup Maker, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
The drip broker, Kirklin Patzer.
I'm the booty boosted Dylan Moss.
I'm the Avenger, Taylor Field.
Very nice. I was going to say if you haven't guessed it, but you might not. But you probably know because you clicked on this link, and this is the episode 5 She-Hulk, or of She-Hulk review / spoilers review. As usual, we're going to give our non-spoiler thoughts, so we'll give you a little break, and then we'll go right into spoilers. Hey, Phil, where can they find everything?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter. GeekVerse on our Facebook.
All the links are down below. How to support us, find us, listen, watch us. Best way to do that is on Patreon to get episodes ad-free, exclusive, early, depending on what tier you're on. You can go from Phase 2 all the way to Phase 4, which is the producer tier. A big shout out to Aaron Braden, April Darkness, Joshua Wright, and Smalley Biggs. I don't know why. You know, Joshua,
I'm not the only one that
No.
slipped up on it.
I don't know. I honestly don't know too many Joshuas. So I'm not even used to saying the word Joshua. You know, like I know Joshes, but just a big thank you to all for you, everyone else, and everyone listening because we appreciate your time. Taylor Field, what do you think of episode 5 of She-Hulk?
So, I think it was definitely a continued streak of just being humorous and just unexpected and this isn't a spoiler. We obviously know Titania's in this episode.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah. I wasn't.
Spoiler, we all know Xavier was going to show up
Yeah.
halfway through.
I wasn't sure how I really felt after like her first introduction as a character, just kind of like flying in that first episode, and so I'm glad that we kind of got a little bit more depth to what she's all about. I will say there are certain things that maybe felt a little kind of like a repetitive theme from what we've seen in the past in terms of how she is acting compared to other characters introduced to the show. But that being said, again, I definitely didn't mind her, and I like that we got a lot of other cool new things that were shown in this episode. Some very cool
There's some juice.
yeah,
Juice,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a good full carton of juice, and I drank
my
the whole
God.
thing without a glass. So
Wow.
there you go.
A full carton, hey? You'd really go that far?
Oh yeah.
That's Ripley's Believe It or Not type of shit, you know, full carton,
Big 4
stuff
liter.
like that.
Four
I'll go
liter, oh my
because I feel like I thought I was gonna be on similar wavelength and then Taylor goes all over the place. I'm like, I'm not sure where he is. But the good thing is, so yeah, I feel like I can confidently say this is still, I like the episode, but this is easily my least favorite of the series. I like it enough. It was fine, but this just feels like, and I think there's one thing in here, of course, but all the time I feel like we have lots of comedy and like some lighthearted stuff, but it always feels like we are moving forward a little bit, and it feels like there's at least something substantial that happens in an episode where I don't really feel like I feel like you could literally skip over this one. I really do, other than the last minute, and even then I feel like you don't really need it. It's one of these, hey, we got 9 episodes, you could fill it. No, it's still good. I like it. I like this. I laughed a couple times. The Titania character's not really doing it for me. I'm not that interested in her, and I think if she's gonna end up being the major big bad, I don't really have much interest. Famiclus says, what happened to her body mass from the first episode? I feel like you can turn it on and off. I didn't catch anything, but maybe it's just like a Hulk type of thing where she can get a little bigger, powered up. But so this was fine. I guess it's just because I feel like obviously most lawyer cases we know in this are going to go our way, but it's like we 100% know she's not going to not win the She-Hulk case, you know? And I think there was some good stuff near the end of figuring some things out. But yeah, this is definitely the lowest one so far. And it's I don't have much to say on it, honestly, when we get into spoilers. I think it was a very simple, I don't want to say cookie cutter because that sounds bad, but close to cookie cutter episode.
Interesting. I'll go next because I feel like I might be the highest on this. Honestly, I thought this was like a perfect episode for a comedy sitcom, or a sitcom, which is like what the show is kind of based around. And I feel like especially just with some of the Titania stuff going on, like it felt like a completely different type of like antagonist, I guess, that your superhero would typically be going against. And for me, it just felt like such a breath of fresh air. Like I feel like I was expecting certain things to occur, but it didn't, because it was just going like the situational comedy route where like certain characters, I thought they were going to lead to like something that ties into some sort of Marvel thing. And then he just started talking about, like, not even a spoiler, like just talking about like new shoes or something, and I was just like, oh, this is like totally something that I would just see watching, you know, like a classic sitcom. And I think for that route, like I loved it. Like the comedy, I was totally laughing out loud at multiple times. I was totally engaged with just like the, I guess, low threat things that our characters were doing. And yeah, and again, like I like that I'm getting these feelings in episode 5, because I was really like put off in the first episode, because I think I was just expecting certain things to occur that didn't. And now that I'm kind of, I don't know, I took a few sips of the glass now, I feel like I'm actually, my refined palate, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. And I'm curious to see how it goes, because we've definitely seen a lot more action in like earlier episodes, but I really like this episode for what it was. And yeah, I'm curious to just compare it to the other episodes that come out. So yeah, for me, I thought it was just like a perfect sitcom episode. So that was lots of fun.
There you go, Mr. Muss, round us
Yeah,
off.
I would say I liked this episode. Didn't love it. I'd probably put this at like the bottom, like maybe the worst episode. But I think that's just showing that the show I'm really enjoying, because even this being the worst episode, it's like, all right, this is fine. I think I didn't have as many very funny moments for me. Like there's a sequence where Nikki and the other guy, I can't remember his name, they're just like going off doing something for a bit, and I don't know what it was, but I just found like they were really awkward together. Like none of that really worked for me, and that took up a few minutes. So yeah, there is, as Taylor alluded to, there's a carton of juice in this episode that I'm excited to talk about. But yeah, overall didn't really blow my socks off. I think, you know, once again, the once per week model, like, I don't know, I'd like to see them maybe change that up sometimes when you have a week like this, where I don't know if this episode really is deserving of like a whole week's worth of She-Hulk content. Like sometimes they kind of, it seems like they're doing a lot of little mini arcs in this, right? Where I feel like Abomination was like a little 2-episode arc, and this one, I mean, it's Titania's story, but we kind of got her in the first episode, and then like not really for a couple episodes. So it's hard to like simplify it in that way, but I feel like this one could have, I don't know, they could have doubled it up with last week's episode, or they could have you know, give us next week's episode like with this one as well, kind of release 2 at a time kind of thing. But anyway, I'm still liking the show, just not as hot on it this week for sure.
Well, there you go. We're going to get into specifics after we take this first ad break, so we'll be right back. And we're back. Yeah, I wanted to touch on the shoe story where I had this last time where it's like I don't necessarily dislike the two characters, because this even happened last time when he was defending what's his name about with Megan Thee Stallion and everything like that. But just at the same time, I go, I don't know if I like it enough that I need it in the show. You know, like I almost be fine with making these episodes even shorter and taking like that little venture. I found it funny enough, like Taylor's, you know, the Avengers, like I guess, but just like it wasn't hitting me funny enough also where I needed it. I was like, oh man, this stuff's really paying off. It kind of, I don't tune out because I'm like, okay, I'm watching it, want to see if I catch anything, that stuff like that. But it's the closest. I'm like, I don't know if I care what's going on right now, really. And it's not that it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's acted bad. I think there's even some fun one-liners here, and it was just a strange. They talked about the shoes. They went on this, looked at this merch. And like that was, and I guess they wouldn't talk to like the, you know, the guy that's making the suits, but it just, I guess maybe it was just a point to get us to the suit maker, which I just feel like there is other routes we could have went to get there, you know? So that's right.
Yeah.
On the shoes.
Yeah, I was totally digging it all. It was it was just completely working for me. It was something that wasn't like, oh, we got to go stop these Russian villains. It was just like, oh yeah, no, we got to go deal with this like merch situation. And for me, I liked both those characters, like just them bouncing off each other was working for me. And like it again, like kind of what I was mentioning with, or what I was alluding to with Titania in the non-spoiler section was like, I've totally changed my prediction on like what like I don't even know what the final boss fight is going to be in this like season, right? Like if we're just having episodes like this where like their threats are like like lawyer things or like, you know, trademark things, and like I don't know, like I think obviously it can't just be like this to like end the season, but I'm would expect it's going to be something different than what we've seen from other Disney Plus shows.
Well, and I feel like because we've seen her in the costume, that's why I feel like there has to be something bigger because she at least has to get a reason to wear said superhero costume, right? Like, why else would she put that on? So I feel like whether it's Titania or those guys that are trying to take her blood, or they kind of tie together. I think that's the end game.
I think Titania's done for the season. I was getting that vibe.
You think so? Oh, I think she's
I
definitely
got that
back.
vibe too.
Oh, really?
Like, I know
think
she has
she'll
that
be back.
line at the end where she's like, "Oh, I'm coming for." I don't even remember what she says, but I feel
We're
like
at least
they
getting a fight. We're at least getting a fight. I
think
think.
so. Okay.
Yeah, I
We'll
just
save
think
her
that.
for Secret Wars.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, can't pay it off till Secret Wars. You know, when the leader finally meets She-Hulk as well.
That
But
would
no,
be
I feel
wild.
like they haven't had a physical altercation, so I feel like it's gonna happen at least once. That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Yeah,
You
no, I
wouldn't
feel like the
count-
one was so quick in that first episode that
Mm.
I don't even know if they care about that. Like, it was just like a one-punch thing. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
Titania's
they were-
learned though. You know, she's watching game tape all the time. She watches.
no,
that
she's
newscast
fucking
back.
making products. Like, she's not training up for this battle with She-Hulk. I
Maybe
don't
she's
know.
now though that she lost the trademark, right? She lost it. Now it's gonna be
A lot of
you know,
setups.
Yeah.
You're out, Titania. So
I guess we got what three more episodes. Is that correct? Wait,
4.
no. 4
Because
episodes.
there's 9, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Actually, that there's only 4 left.
One thing I wanted to bring up, we were kind of talking about this in our draft. It was looking like maybe I'm a runaway train here and getting all these like post-credit scenes. Last episode, She-Hulk wasn't in it. This week there's no post-credit scene, so I think there's still a
Thank
race to be
God.
had here. I don't know if I'm getting as many points from this these post-credit scenes as I was expecting. So
No,
gotta
he's still
bring that
got
up.
4 more weeks. I think 1 week might be, you know, the man without fear. But other than that, like I was very happy not to see any post credit scene because if people don't know, we have a draft going on, and every end credit scene you get a point for, and She-Hulk was popping off. So I'm pretty happy. Which is weird because I think
It's a
the
weird
creator.
choice, though, right?
Yeah.
For it to be an odd episode out like that.
I thought the creator did say that every episode had a tag, so maybe they just looked at it and it wasn't funny, or maybe it could be something Matt Murdock related, and like, let's save this for an actual full-on episode.
I thought I remember seeing something that said like the first 5 episodes had end credit scenes at least. And
Well, then they lied to us.
I know. I am curious if, like you said though, like they decided to like change something.
Every
Yes.
week it's like, oh, Daredevil's in episode 4. That's good, confirmed. It's all bullshit. I don't
Guaranteed
trust any
next
leakers
week, yeah.
anymore. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, we may as well talk about it. I know there's other stuff to talk about, but so I didn't think when they were setting up the suit thing that they were drawing the line to Matt, but the second I saw, he gets She-Hulk in there, she's putting a lot of suits on, which I'm excited to see. And then in like the background, there's just like a fucking looking like the set of any DC Marvel superhero where it's like a half-built suit, but just the way it was plated, I'm like, okay, we're getting our introduction to Matt Murdock, and then just such a cool little thing where he has this box, like, oh, hey, confidentiality, like, you gotta keep this up, and he puts it down. And when he puts it down, also to the right, you can see, like, it's a mock version of this new one, but the second I saw, like, that studded arm, I'm like, oh, okay, and I guess that means Dylan, our boy, Mr. Potter, might not be coming back from Daredevil. Remember how he got his suits made before?
Oh yeah,
Gladiator,
I remember
big
that guy.
guy. Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't have
so-
expected him to come back, but
I think he's been replaced as the suit.
Well, he's in
maker
New
now.
We're in
True.
LA right now,
Right?
So maybe
Right. Mhm.
they're not going to be like covering the whole country. You know, you probably pick a niche. So he's probably working in New York.
Remember that guy Kirklin?
No,
You will. You will. You're like, that's who they're talking about.
I'm
He's
excited for the
also-
retro.
Yeah. He also has a mini arc in Dexter, not the character, the actor, so you might recognize me. Like, oh, I know that guy. So
okay.
yeah.
One of
But
those guys.
yeah, Dylan, what do you think about the mini
Mm-hmm.
tease here? I feel like this is pretty much set up. Like, I feel like next week it has to happen now. I feel like you can't tease it and then next week do nothing. Even if it's just Matt Murdock, I feel this is the tip of the cap that, hey, buckle up, we're about to go, you know, in Hell's Kitchen. A little, not really, but you know, it's gonna come to us.
Yeah, I'm definitely dumber than you. Like it completely caught me by surprise when it was finally when I saw the mask is when that was the reveal for me. I didn't catch the other clues, the things in the background. So kudos to you. I mean, even I feel like people could see like, ooh, there's some arc with getting a suit. Like I wonder if that's gonna mean Daredevil, but no,
100%, yeah.
My brain is much too small for that kind of thing.
Plus, it's
But-
midnight, you know.
It's midnight, yeah, it's true. No, I think it's a great setup for the next episode. It's a good way to kind of introduce him, and I mean now if he's not in next episode, then you fucked up. You know, you don't do the tease here.
Yeah.
You somehow save it, or you do another way to introduce him. So it's pretty exciting now that I'm feeling 99% certain that we'll see him next week. So that's very exciting. But I mean, yeah, for this episode, there's really not much there. It's just the classic cliffhanger.
Now I gotta ask you because like I feel like was hinted at a lot of this episode, which we're gonna talk about, and even the press they've kind of Charlie Cox been like, oh, this is a very flirty Daredevil, this and that. Like, I feel like they're not gonna be like Endgame, but it's strange that you have who was her lawyer friend her new friend that represented her in this episode.
Oh yeah, I forget her name.
Either way, she was just talking about the lineup of gentlemen and said, I don't know much about you, but you deserve much better than those guys. I feel like they're really teeing up that like Matt is that better guy. Now I think it's kind of strange because I don't think Matt and her would be a long-term thing. I'd be completely down for it because we've talked about this before. I think more Marvel characters should date because like there's some fun in that. But I feel like if they're yeah, exactly. If they're doing the whole, hey, there's better guys out there. In the next episode, we meet Matt Murdock. That feels like a very, like a on purpose sort of line to draw, right? So I'm getting very curious because I thought if they hooked up, it'd be like maybe like a one night stand, like just some fun. But they're really drawing this like, you could meet someone better out there, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, who else would it be at this point, right? So I think you're right. They're definitely aiming for it. So that'll be fun to see.
That'd be great. I would love it. These two characters have shows and they're like dating on the side, but really they don't have, I don't know. Like
and if it doesn't go all well, that's just more entertainment, right? It's just more drama.
That's life
to chew up. Yeah.
So, Kirklin, what do you think about you? You don't know who Mr. Potter is, but you know who Daredevil is.
I know a Harry Potter. I don't know this Mr. Potter though. No. This was a very great reveal because I mean for me I didn't even notice like the background suits like during the scene. Maybe it was just like sleepy eyes or whatnot. So it took me until like the actual mask to realize that it was Daredevil, and it just hit me. I'm like, that's such a great, like, smart way to bring these two characters together. Like, if that is how they're doing, or even just introducing like Daredevil into the show, like, especially like even Clay was mentioning in the chat, like maybe he didn't want to bring his red suit to LA for some reason, so he wanted a new one for the area. And I think that it all makes sense. It all works.
Must have
out,
a lot of money if he's doing that.
He's a good lawyer.
Avocado Law's doing good, so.
Yeah, Peter Parker pays well, right? Because he represented him, or who do you think paid that bill?
Happy paid that bill. He paid that bill twice because remember he also had to represent Happy as well. So he's getting that Stark money right now.
Absolutely,
he's doing well.
Yeah.
The color suit will be interesting because some people say like I don't know if it's a theory or a rumor going around like the reason it's yellow is because some of the events of season 3 left the red suit not looking the greatest for the public, so he's trying to like change an image and stuff like that. So, like I said, I can't remember if that was a theory.
It's a little bit
or
brighter.
Rumor, so yes,
it's like the color of the sun. Kindergarten. That's what I think of when I see it. So
it's like the Batman thing. There's a great story. There's a great storyline where Robin like explains to Batman like your suit's fucking scary to kids. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, look at you, like you're gonna scare so many kids, and that's why he changed to blue and gray. Because like I don't want to, I didn't get in this business to scare kids. So I feel like you can have something similar to Daredevil where it's like he is trying to be a bit more approachable. Even though yellow's the color of piss and vomit, it is a bit nicer, I guess, than just full devil. So I know you love Yellow and the Strikers, Dylan. I just Yellow and me are mortal enemies, So.
It's not like a yellow. To me, it's like a faded gold, is what I'd say.
That's fair. Yeah,
gold.
I can give you that. Yeah.
I will say though, I was really looking forward to seeing what her suit looks like. I knew we were close to the end of the episode, but still, I was just like fooling myself. I'm like, we're gonna see it. But then no, just not even. And then I figured we were gonna either get the suit or Daredevil or something in the end credit. Not even an end credit, so that was another shocking moment. But yeah, I'm excited to see her suit big time.
Like it's almost like I wonder if. Because when she's like, oh, my suit, and it felt very similar to the last 2 weeks where she said something to go to end credit, and I wonder if this was the original end credit, but like, we want to make sure people see this tease, so like, let's put it. Like, I know enough people probably still watch the end credits on Disney Plus, but there's still some people that they skip. The thing is, we were in the theater all the time where people leave, right? When the movie's done, like, okay, so I do wonder because the past 2 weeks it's like, oh, there's a fun tag with Wong, or oh, maybe there's this, and she kind of throws to it, and she threw to it, but it was part of the episode. So that's kind of my theory that maybe this was the end credit, but they want to make sure people aren't tuning away.
That's a good theory.
That's my idea.
What was the last scene before that?
That was wasn't it her at the bar with her friend?
Yeah,
because the last thing she says, she's like, "Oh yeah, the suit," and then
Yeah, so that transition would feel weird though if that was an end credit. I think if that was
Yeah.
the very
You
end
might
of the
be able to like
episode.
show her like trying on the suit or something, and then cut to credits, and then the Daredevil moment like in the end credit. I don't know.
I feel like the suit we're not going to see until action time, though. I don't think she's going to walk out of a room and be like,
Well,
look at my
he gave her
suit.
2 suits, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing because it was like I'm not gonna have a situation to wear this, so it's like what is that one?
That's this fighting one.
That's
I
the
think.
purple,
Yeah.
white one.
Oh, okay.
And then
Yeah.
the first one he gave was just like a generic, like lawyer suit, I think.
Because I think
that
that's the one.
stretches.
Little suit, big
Yeah.
suit, yeah.
Yeah, little suit, big suit.
Big
That's
me,
the
little
one
me,
where
yeah.
she said, "Can I have one that for both?" So I think that one we'll see next week. But the fighting one, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
I think
why
we could
does she
see
get
it
in this
next
situation?
week.
The fighting suit?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, because
yeah.
what's the context that her and Daredevil meet? I don't like. Do you guys think it's going
I
to be
don't know.
because
On
of
a
the
bridge.
suit guy? Like, are they
Yeah.
going to meet because they're picking up their suits? I don't think so, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
it very well could be that. Yeah, that trailer shot that you talked about there.
I think it's something they like talk about, and like, oh, you get your suit like once they meet up as heroes. But what I'm very
It has like the
interest-
little tag on it. It's like no way you go to him
Yeah.
too. That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of discount. What I'm excited for is like, is the they're gonna meet up, and we know that there's scenes between Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock. But my question is, and like he's gonna know obviously that she's She-Hulk because like that's
Do
the
we know
public
that?
knows, right? Yeah, we know that. There's photos of them together, like not leaks, like press of like Matt Murdock and Jennifer Walters having a drink together and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like it's out there. So my wonder is like, is she gonna know the same thing? Is she gonna know that he's Matt and Daredevil the same, or is he only gonna know that? You know, like is she gonna look at them as two different people, or are they one? That's what I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be
That's
two different
juicy.
people, but I don't know for sure. Because why would he?
I
reveal
would
that
think
right
so
now?
because they've
Yeah.
already been hinting towards that, like in this show, that she's really like splitting She-Hulk from Jennifer. So like they're already doing that of splitting like 2 different individuals there. So
Mhm.
I could see that.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that they would meet up separately, right? Like in a crime fighting situation or just lawyer situations. Like
Yeah.
it makes sense that they could naturally bump into each other in 2 different ways. So,
A lot of coincidences going on there.
but
though,
he'll
you
know instantly, obviously, right?
Yes.
He's so smart and cool, and his senses are amazing and all that. But
Plus, she's in the news, right? You know, as like she's kind of a celebrity now and stuff. With like she's on.
yeah,
the
I guess
news
he'd be
somehow.
paying attention to that. He would
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
But if, there's part of me that kind of hopes that he does or she does know, just because it's like, you know, they bump into each other at the clothing store, they bump into each other at like a law firm, then they bump into each other at like fighting crime.
Coffee shop.
It gets a bit too much of a bumping into each other. But Taylor, you haven't said anything. What do you feel about this reveal tease? You know,
I'm always a sucker for these kinds of things when you're just trying to like use your peripheral vision, look all around the room, try and spot what's going on. And I wasn't expecting the Daredevil mask. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that, and I think it was super cool. It got me super, super excited. I was thinking that black armor, for some reason, I just thought Black Knight. But I mean, like, could
I
that
think
make
that-
sense? Like,
no. To me, what I took from that black armor, I thought it was almost like the stuff that would be under his cloth. Like I know it's like the suit's like a version of like Kevlar or something, but I feel like or just like a tester suit because like that doesn't look like what Daredevil's is, but the shape of it, that's to me what tipped me off. Like okay, this is something Daredevil related, just because it's like looks very Batman-esque of just like a body,
like
with,
the metal suit, like
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
just looked at it, I thought like, holy crap, it looks so medieval. Like
I know, but I'm saying what if there's stuff over top that like cloth and leather, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Where
that's
that's the
true.
actual armor. So but who knows? This guy could be working for a bunch of people, you know. So
To speak to Clay's comment, one was a purple business suit. I imagine that the one thing that we didn't get to see would be this from the poster here.
True. Yeah.
And
And
then,
plus,
like-
purple's kind of her color, same as Hulk and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense. So yeah, big excited for the suit, you know. But do you think we're getting Daredevil next week, Taylor? Or was this maybe a strange tease to do now?
I think we're getting Daredevil because I mean it's just like it's a straight up signal. It's literally like, hey, turn left for free corn. And I mean, you turn left and there's no free corn.
Never do
then
that.
like
Never turn left for free corn. That's a euphemism for something else.
So I feel like
Yeah.
that's what the sign was, and that's what we got. So I mean, if there's no corn in the next episode, and it's like, well, what are you doing? What are you
Are
doing? to
you
me?
fine if it's just Matt Murdock and not Daredevil yet?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay,
definitely.
Cool. Just making sure. So you're fine for a variation of corn, not the salty corn. But
I feel like for the GA's perspective, it might be easier to show Daredevil because then they could probably like, oh, holy crap, like I can clue in, I know what this guy is, it's Daredevil. Over Matt Murdock, I feel like people know the name Daredevil way better than Matt Murdock. They see Matt Murdock, they see the blind guy, because I know when I took my mom to see Spider-Man, she didn't know who this Matt Murdock guy was with the glasses. Just filthy casual. Just did not clue in. So
yeah, you tell her, well, go watch the fucking Netflix show, Mom. Come on, it's on Disney Plus.
She'll
now.
be on the retro with us.
Oh, great. I'm just here for the free corn. Anything else on Daredevil or Matt Murdock? Hopefully we see the devil next week, but
Hopefully.
nothing.
Some sort of devil.
Yeah. And then the only honestly, like I liked the case. I liked the idea of okay, we're gonna talk to these exes. I think the thing that I took away from like another big pro was I like this back and forth again of when they had the doctor talk like, oh, I really like She-Hulk and we connected and all this stuff and everything, but I wouldn't like Jennifer's not my type and I wouldn't date her. So I feel like that's good where it's funny we started the season like she wanted nothing to do with She-Hulk and now she's using She-Hulk, but the problem is when she's using She-Hulk, I think she's getting the complex that people are liking that more than Jennifer, and I think that's going to mess with her. And she looked like she was sad last week, but she looked sad again. So that's one thing that at least didn't make it. Not that it was like overall not like a waste of time. It's like okay, this is just solid, like Kirklin saying, like nice comedy sitcom plot. That gave me a little bit okay. There's some motivation here, but other than that, I thought it was pretty paint by numbers of the case and everything. But I liked that moment of kind of again showing that duality and the problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll go. No, I really like the case. It was a fun moment, just like seeing her just like sink in her chair when, especially that one guy, completely forget his name, but he's just like the one that's obsessed with her. That character is totally just making me laugh. The more
There's
they're using
theories
him,
he's
so
part of the Wrecking Crew. Some people have a theory.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Keep him around. He's. I like the actor's doing a good job too.
Because last week he was asking a lot of like, how strong are you? How this and stuff like that. So and
he's acting pretty sus.
Yes,
for
because
sure.
I rewatched because I think Chris had that theory.
Didn't we
Chris and
talk
Brent-
about that on the podcast last week?
Did we? Well, it all blends together, Dylan. You know.
Yeah.
So, but like, and then because he asks like, "Oh, is your skin like impenetrable or something like that?" It's like, who the fuck's asking that sort of question? You know. So,
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say on a
yeah,
date.
never ask that.
Um,
Never ask that. Never go to the Free Corn Center. You've learned two things from this review. Very key to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I liked the court case in general. I think that was pretty decent. The when they first adjourned court, whatever it was, and they're gonna like come back on Thursday, I was instantly thinking, I'm like, oh, that dating profile, that's the key to this case. And so I like that they came back and that was the solution as well. I did not expect all the dates to come back. I thought just the app would be enough. They could show it off that she was using it and stuff. But to have all these guys come back, I thought they are, just one and done episode appearances. So it was fun to have them back because they're all just such pieces of shit.
I loved her bio so much. Like must bench press this much, bed breaker, like whatever. Just like an extremely thirsty profile, like dating app and everything.
Yeah.
Like I liked some of the verbiage there. She just like sinks in her chair. So it was a nice little moment there.
Mm-hmm. And I liked the kind of like a mini arc, I guess, of Titania rocking this branding to do her thing, and they did that with the title card where they switched it to her
That was
like
great.
pink aesthetic. And yeah, I liked her just like weird show and how she's walking around like looking at all these things. It reminds me of our conversation we had the other day where I'm like, soap, shampoo, it's all the same thing. And she's going around, she's like, what? All this stuff is just all the exact same product, just with slightly different color, rebranded, all this stuff. So I liked that. I thought that was a fun dynamic, hearing all the ads, driving her crazy, all that stuff. So yeah, I thought it was like a fun mini arc for the episode.
Brian's telling us to look at the shoes. Now I understand what he's talking about. During the sketches at the end, you could see the Thing, Deadpool, and possibly Bishop. Thank you for even Clay for asking, because for a while I was like, Brian, what
are these
fucking
shoes?
am
That's
I
what
wearing? Yeah, it's also almost 1 a.m. here. I'm like, man, what? But
You can see the Thing in Deadpool. Is this a thing? Should I dig into
apparently,
this?
yeah,
Okay,
you
I'm
could
gonna
look
pull
at
up
it
the
while
episode.
pull it up and see in those sketches. Because I didn't, because I was confused because I was fast forwarding to see if there was end credit, and then I accidentally jumped. And fuck, I hate Disney Plus so much because then it brings up, you want to watch Infinity War? And I mean to hit
Yeah, I was
enter.
like, yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, before the
1 o'clock in
review.
the morning.
Hang
Yeah.
on, guys. he's like, "Oh, watch," but it's like I'm going to click on the little buttons like the screen, but no, because it's on the play button. I hit Infinity War. I'm like, fuck, I had to go back and see everything. He says that 25 minutes and 29 seconds. That's very interesting.
2:25.
25 minutes 29 seconds. That's what he's saying right there. So I'm gonna get them to confirm.
25.
Obviously you can't screen share.
I
We're
will.
gonna get
I'm gonna pop an image here for you guys.
How? What do you mean?
Took a photo with my phone.
Oh, I don't have my phone
Ooh.
on me.
Oh
Fuck.
yeah.
Oh, those are like the Iron Man 3s.
Is this in the Discord?
No, it's gonna be shared directly on the.
Yeah, those shoes are sweet.
On the
Those-
stream.
I want to get some of those.
Risky thing to share on the stream here, Taylor, but we should be okay. You're not sharing like live footage of She-Hulk. I don't need fucking the Resident Evil people coming back at me. Oh, you used the scene of our actress dancing.
We
But
got-
they're full 180.
I see the thing. I don't know if I see the other ones. I mean, I'm an idiot though.
Is this the Deadpool, the Doctor Strange
Oh my
poster
god,
over
this
again?
quality is.
I know it's
no
rough,
good.
but at
Oh,
least we
yeah.
got some.
I don't see anything now.
We got a Captain America up
I see
here.
Deadpool right there.
We
Yeah.
got Captain Marvel here. Where's the Deadpool one? You guys
Right under
see?
Captain America. Look at those eyes. The domino eyes.
Yeah, Captain. Oh, there. Gotcha.
It's going to be like the poster
Right.
where Dylan doesn't see it again. But this time, it might be true this time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun. I'm gonna now. Thank you for bringing this up, Ryan. I'm gonna say this primarily is just Easter eggs and one. I don't think
Are
there's
these
any-
Cyclops? This will be like retro Cyclops
That
there,
looks
with
like
like the red
Cyclops.
It
vibes.
does
Yeah,
look like
totally.
Cyclops, but I don't think
They
it's
look
like fuck.
sweet.
This confirms Deadpool's already a hero in the MCU. No, I don't think that. Even though this drawing kind of makes our character here look like a discount Tony Stark, doesn't it look like a little bit? Like if Tony grew up the hair a bit and didn't have as good clothing, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He kind of has like elf ears too. It's kind of wild.
He is.
there's a lot of
like
elves
that.
in this
Nardor.
world.
Noldor.
Oh, it's actually that elf from the other episode.
Yeah,
The shape.
She's looking for shoes. Yeah. Taylor, anything to say on the dating case? The exes come back, or the one night stands? The end of the court case.
Yeah, I thought it was powerful because it definitely reaffirmed to her that these people are more appreciating her as She-Hulk, and it's unfortunate because she does deserve better than that. And I think that again, that's what this lawyer told her straight up. Like, you deserve to be doing much more than that, and not just put yourself in this area of how she explains it. Just like good at like kind of like not self-sabotage. How did she put it? You know what I'm talking about, Kirklin.
I know what you're talking about.
Self-fulfilling
yeah.
prophecy?
Yeah, it's definitely
No.
what she said.
Well, that's close enough to like self.
About putting herself in kind of
She's like self-destructive sort of thing, or not. I know what you're trying to say, Taylor, because that's not what it is. But,
You got it. Yeah.
I'll just pull it up on the
Glad
freaking
one
internet
was-
now.
Oh
So,
no!
I think that's just an interesting kind of way to look at it, or being presented that. I think it's something that she'll overcome, and she'll get to this point where she finds that balance. I'm hoping between like She-Hulk and herself, and she can start associating with people that kind of respect her and appreciate her for being both forms of who she is, because they are now She-Hulk is a part of her. But yeah, with the Titania stuff, this is where I think too it was kind of just repetitive from last week, because I wasn't expecting her character to be so similar to, not similar, very similar to Madison, but just similar in how she's acting, and very kind of like, I don't know, like klutzy and just kind of out to lunch and just, yeah. I was kind of hoping that she'd be a little bit more not like that. But it's just, I hope that many of these other characters aren't all like consistent like that. Like, it worked for Madison, it was great, but to see it again represented here after what we got in that first episode, I thought it was going to be totally different in her kind of personality and persona. And yeah.
Taylor, was it? You can always count on me to throw myself under the bus.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
That is
That
it.
was it.
Yeah.
But wait a
Yeah.
second, did you look it up on the episode?
Yeah.
Okay, you said it like you didn't. Like, hey Taylor, was it this?
He dug
You're
it out
just
of his
reading-
mind.
Definitely wasn't
Alice.
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, that's
That's the same.
Hey,
thing as
well,
being
you were saying nothing for
self-destructive.
10 seconds. That was
Self-fulfilling
Yeah.
trying to help
prophecy?
you.
How is that the same thing as being self-destructive?
Because
it's
that's
like
like
I'm
being
gonna
like-
I'm the
that's
chosen
like,
one to
oh,
take the
I'm-
ring to
no.
Mordor.
a self-fulfilling prophecy could be like
You're
all
the
the guys
chosen
I
one,
date.
Anakin.
No, stop. You asked me. I'm gonna say it could be like, oh, all the guys I date are assholes, but then you're specifically looking for assholes to date. It's like, well, you're fulfilling that prophecy. Like if you're dating the assholes, no wonder why it's like
Okay.
all I do is
I give it
assholes.
to you. It's a stretch.
It's like
I've
Mina
never heard
Masad
it
being
said
like,
that way.
Mina Masad being like, oh, all these rumors of me playing Ezra Bridger. It's like you fucking put these rumors out.
That's how
Like,
they
you
talk
don't-
at the corn stand. If you go over
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
I
turn
was,
left to that corn stand.
I was there too long, a couple nights there. So
Was that 10,000 years ago?
yeah. That's all I have to say about this episode. Anything else?
Me too. Yeah.
I love the line when she's coming to the
So,
court
the
scene.
self-fulfilling prophecy one, right?
Coming to the courtroom, she's like, "Nice suit, Shrek." It's just like reaffirming the meme. I feel like that's happened a couple times where they've just like commented on like just talk about like that thing, like breaking the fourth wall stuff, and like all that stuff's really working for me. I will say, like a reoccurring thing that just kind of bothers me that they're doing in this show is like her office scenes just really bother me. They just look.
Always look
I saw
bad.
a meme. I saw a meme where it's
the
like,
hellscape of the MCU. This office, get her out of there. Fuck.
yeah, and they keep coming back to it. And I saw a meme though. It was like they brought GTA to the MCU, and that's exactly what it is. Like it just seems like a cut scene where you're like getting a mission, and like the person's just sitting at the desk, and they just like behave. It looks very
It's awkward. It doesn't feel
yeah.
good. And that character model always looks the worst when it's in this bright ass office. Where it's just like the windows are open. It's nothing but sun bearing down on She-Hulk, showing, hey, this is not a real fucking person. You know.
And like I've even grown to like really like the CGI a lot more than what I was in the early episodes. Like when she was in the courtroom and like just pretty much everywhere other than that goddamn office. Like I was totally, it looked really, really good for me. And that's, I'm glad I'm having those thoughts because I was super not positive on it in the early stages. So good turnaround.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, anything else before we say?
I definitely. What's his name? Matt? Was that the other lawyer character?
Matt
not
Murdock, yeah.
Not Matt Murdock.
He's the other lawyer.
The other guy
You are
who's
right. There is a Matt named that is a lawyer coming to the show.
Devil something. Yeah.
Devil Dare.
the other lad who's hooking
Like with
us
the
up with the
shoes?
drip broker. Yeah. What was his name again?
Pug. That's like his nickname.
Pug. Okay. Yes.
Who fucking wants that as a nickname as a grown ass man? Call me Pugs.
That
His
he
last name's
seems like the kind of guy that
Pugliacci or
would.
something.
I'd shut that shit down real fast. No one's calling me Pugs.
I am really enjoying his character. I love how he's just like I hooking up like the connections when he started to talk about this person who can get like exclusive clothing apparel. I didn't hear the drip part. I heard broker. I was like, holy shit, pawnbroker or power broker? Which one is it?
Pawnbroker.
Yeah, is this happening right now? And I was totally eating it all up until like I think all the way up to where they went to the boba tea place. And I was still thinking we were in there. So Augustus Puglius. That's
Yeah.
a superhero
He's the
name.
pawnbroker, and then Sharon Carter's
pawnbroker.
the power broker.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
fucking-
you'll say that was very much incorrect because it is the drip broker. So
That was my name.
That is a good name. I take that name, not Pug, not the pawnbroker. You know,
Yeah.
the drip broker. What's yours? The drip broker?
The drip broker.
Okay.
What the fuck's happening?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 5 of She-Hulk. We will be back hopefully next week talking about the battling devil of Hell's Kitchen, Mr. Murdoch himself. And if not, it sounds like overall we all like to really enjoy the episode. So She-Hulk keeps doing good things. What you laughing at? What's wrong? You know?
We like to enjoy the episodes.
Like-
some loose terminology here.
We like to enjoy the episode. You know what? Stop fulfilling your own prophecy, all right, Taylor Field? Get off it. We'll be back next week for episode 6. See ya.
Bye-bye.